This is what we were working with up until now.
That's right.
I mean, this is cute.
Yep, itty bitty baby.
Steve, what's happening, brother? How are you?
How are you?
Great
Good
to see
you, Kevin.
So happy to have with us the Evolve 90 and 70.
So obviously we've had the 30M on the market, we've had the 50, the 50M, and we've just been getting constant people asking, when are you going to come out with a bigger column system? Finally, this NAMM, we came out with the Evolve 70 and then the Evolve 90. The Evolve 70 is a 15-inch subwoofer with a 3-inch voice coil. The 90 is 18-inch subwoofer with a 4-inch voice coil. And then the top is much larger. There is now 8 4.7-inch neodymium drivers. Evolve 70 clocks in 133 dB, Evolve 90 134 dB.
So if I'm a DJ and I had an Evolve 50 and I said, hey, not enough bass, I need something boomier, I'd go right to a 90.
Bingo. Because you're looking at 35 hertz here on the 70, whereas the 90 is gonna drop down to 28 hertz.
I know one of the concerns again on the smaller systems has been it doesn't fill the room enough. So looking at these just massive tops, and I have to show you the 50 column in comparison. This is what we were working with up until now.
That's right.
I mean, this is cute.
Yep, itty bitty baby.
So obviously louder, more coverage.
Yes. Well, the dispersion is relatively the same. So on the 50 and the 30, you have 120 horizontally by 45.
Okay.
This is 120 by 25, but it's much larger.
Got it.
Right, so you're still gonna get relatively the same coverage.
So one of the other things I noticed is that the size of the column is the same between the 70 and the 90.
They're actually the exact same top.
Okay.
So it's interchangeable. It's one top. The sub will obviously do the crossover depending upon if it's 70 or 90. If you had one 70 sub and one 90 sub, you could have one top and say, today I'm gonna bring out my 70 system. Today I need a little bit more low end, I'm gonna bring out my 90 system.
So other than DJs, who else can benefit from using these systems?
Well, if you're a performing artist of some sort, right? Maybe you're a solo musician, or if you're a live band, set two up, say you're doing corporate AV. Just because of the look, it's nice and clean,
right?
Doesn't stand out, perfect for speech applications as well.
And I think one of the other things that's important for anyone who hasn't used one of these is how easy it is to set it up and break it down. It's literally just take this off, and you can see holding this in one hand, it's not challenging at all. This comes right out when you pull it. And then the subs actually, for the 15 and 18, they seem to be pretty light.
Yes, so this entire 70 system with the top will clock in at about 78 pounds.
And on the 18, that thing's gotta be over 100 pounds, right?
Actually, it's not. The entire system would clock in about 98 pounds. So
an 18 with a top, less than 100 pounds.
Less than 100 pounds.
That packs in my car.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Is there a way to safely and securely transport these quickly?
100%. So we have a Evolve 70 dolly, and then we also have an Evolve 90 dolly.
Okay.
Here is the Evolve 70 dolly. Okay, it's got 4 wheels on it. You've got these butterfly clamps to latch onto.
These
the
are no
subwoofer.
chintzy cheap wheels either.
No,
These
they
are
are
pretty
not.
heavy duty.
Very heavy duty, similar to what you would see on like an ETX subwoofer. How it would work is, if you look at the back of the Evolve 70 here, we actually have these 4 rubber feet. So I would tip the sub forward onto the rubber feet. Then you've got the 4 feet holes, and you'll line them up. You'll attach the clamps.
Now that you got the dolly on, I can see you have some locking casters.
Yep, and you're just gonna pull it straight up.
So I'm just gonna just drop it right on the brake and flip it over, roll it into position. That's awesome. That's really easy to move around, and you can see that it's wheels. What could possibly go wrong? Outside of that, I think the most important question a lot of people are going to have is, how loud are these things? How loud can they go? How did you compare them to the older previous models?
We got 133 dB on the 70, 134 on the 90, so they are significantly louder. With the added bass response, you're going to get more boom out of them. So they're bigger, they're larger, they're louder.
Now let's take a look at the back of the Evolve 70 and 90 and also compare it to the previous generation, the Evolve 50.
You can see there's some significant changes between the 70 and the 50. The 70 and the 90 have kind of become a hybrid of the 50 and then the 50M.
The 50M is the version of the Evolve that had a 6-channel mixer on the back of it.
Right, 6-channel plus the 7 and 8 Bluetooth, and then you had full mixing capabilities built in. This is kind of a hybrid of that. So you can see the only similarities are the through output, the mix output, and then the 2 1/4-inch XLR inputs. Again, 2 1/4-inch XLR. What we've added here was selectable 48-volt phantom power to each one of these. Phantom power would be used for a condenser microphone.
So that'll help you get out the cleanest caw-caw, tookies.
100%. Then you have a stereo, right? Stereo input with the RCA. There is still the mix out, so if you're connecting another Evolve, right, and you want to tell one to be right and one to be left. The screen is one significant upgrade we made. So if you're familiar with Zelex G2, we've added in the full color LCD screen. You can monitor your inputs, outputs. If there's anything engaged on a specific channel, you can see that visually. A couple other things we threw in there. We added an AES EBU, which would be for digital audio. So say you're mixing front of house, you have a live console, you could send your output via AES EBU over a much longer distance than you could with a traditional.
But that's not just the standard XLR, that's a specific output dedicated for AES.
100%. It looks like an XLR, but it is not. You must buy an AES cable. One big upgrade here is we added a sub out. You can add another Evolve sub simply as an extension, but you have the option inside the DSP to make it cardioid. So you can have 2 Evolves, set this to tell this other sub to be in cardioid mode, flip it around. And then again, what I was saying about hybriding with the 50M, here is the Quick Smart link that we have in the 50M. You would take a standard Cat cable, connect one to the other. That would also provide digital audio between the two, left and right, but you can access the control of the mixer on board, one Evolve 70 or 90 and the other one that is attached to it.
Nice. So you wind up having really 12 channels instead of 6.
Essentially, yes, because you'll be able to access inside the EV Quick Smart app, which I encourage everybody to use because it makes navigating the system much easier.
If you have multiple performers, 2 of these and you're all set. You don't need to bring a separate mixing console.
Right, as long as you don't need any further inputs, yes. And the power con. If you're familiar with the old ones, we had the IC, now we have a locking power con. It's just a more stable connection, a little bit more robust, and prevents it from being pulled out and, ruining your gig.
Steve, we were talking accessories before. We talked about the Dolly, and one of the things I noticed you brought this short pole. So
I did. So
this is for...
Yeah, so say you were putting the Evolves on a stage, 4-foot stage. Obviously, you don't want this so high off the ground that it's just shooting into the ether and not hitting anyone. So you could just simply replace that. And again, your 3, 2, 1. Click, click. Boom.
Any other accessories that come with this system?
Yeah, so like the Evolve 50, we also have the padded bag for the top and the pole piece. You just simply take the top, it's form fitted, and then the pole slides right in on the other side. You zip it up and you carry it out.
Guys, be sure to check these out on the web at idjnow.com. These are definitely going to be a huge hit this summer. Steve, thank you so much. Always appreciate you spending time with us, hanging out. Guys, Evolve 70, Evolve 90. Check them out.